From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a winter weather alert. From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, folks, good morning again. It is 9 minutes past 8 o'clock. Ben Luna here with you live in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, tracking a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for a portion of North Alabama. We'll go live to Viper and we'll break it down for you. The National Weather Service in Huntsville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lauderdale and Colbert County, effective until 8:30 this morning. So this is part of that same line of storms that we talked about a little bit ago that was going to be rolling into the region. And parts of it found a little bit more instability, a little bit more fuel, if you will, to kind of spawn up here and roll into the region. Now, let's take a peek at how this guy is looking with velocity. And at the same time, I want to pull up the NWS chat. And they do have a tornado possible tag with the warning, and this is going to be directly for the Shoals metro area. As this closes in now, I'm not seeing anything that just jumps off the screen as being tornadic by any stretch of the imagination. We'll switch over and we'll look at the rotation tracker, and it's just gusty wind right now, but nevertheless, this is a good little powerful storm that is rolling directly into the Shoals. So folks in the downtown Florence area, through downtown Muscle Shoals, really the entire Quad Cities region, also including Killen, and then back up toward Central Heights, and then out toward Cherokee. You need to be kind of moseying on inside. This is still a mean little thunderstorm. You've got some lightning embedded there in addition to some small hail. We'll switch over to our hail tracker and give you an idea as to what to expect there toward Lane Springs. About 3/4 of an inch in size. Up toward Cloverdale, we're seeing the potential for about 1/2 inch sized hail. And then back out to the west of Cherokee, 1/10 of an inch in size. Once again, if you're just now joining the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, the National Weather Service in Huntsville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Colbert and Lauderdale County, effective this morning until 8:30. We'll go back to live radar. And again, I'm not seeing anything that's just jumping off the screen as being tornadic. This is all part of a big line of storms that's working its way through the region. In fact, it's raining pretty good on top of us now at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We're in Lawrenceburg, and then, but not as heavy as it has been before. Do have wind gusts within this whole line of storms, which could exceed 50, possibly 60 miles per hour as it moves across your location. And pretty much that's valid for a good part of the line, especially what's moving through the Shoals right now. I want to switch over and take a peek at our Shoals camera. This is on top of the University of North Alabama. And we're looking straight into the line of storms as it approaches. This line, again, is producing some small to medium-sized hail. The biggest that we've seen is just under 1 inch in size. And that camera is located right at the UNA campus, overlooking the practice field and the softball field there. So that view is going to be to the west-northwest of downtown Florence, and you will see rapidly changing weather conditions here in just a few moments as this wall of water and wind winds up directly on top of you. But again, I can't stress enough, not seeing anything tornadic from this line of storms as it crosses into the region. Now, do want to grab this real quick. And so the information is the line's moving to the east. We'll call it at 50 miles per hour. So I'm going to do a whole line storm track on this thing just to give you an idea of when you can expect this to be at your house. So this is roughly moving about east. So we'll do right there about 49 miles an hour. So folks in the Union Hill area, this is going to be up in southern Tennessee to St. Florine. That's on top of you now. Liberty Grove at 8:16 this morning, Revelo at 8:16, the Belmont community 8:16, downtown Florence at 8:18. So you've got just about 5 minutes before it winds up on top of downtown Florence. Sheffield the same at 8:19, Fall River community at 8:19, Killen at 8:21. Again, this whole band of storm activity is pushing off toward the east, moving steadily at around 40 to 50 miles per hour. Wind gusts could again exceed upwards of 60 miles per hour as this moves through. Looks like the National Weather Service in Huntsville will now issue another severe thunderstorm warning. That might be a second, or that might just be an update that's coming across. Okay, that's going to be a new warning. Yep. National Weather Service in Huntsville is issuing another severe thunderstorm warning for the secondary part of the line. So let's hop back down and we'll take a look at that. And that's going to be kind of that south end part of that. And right where you're seeing the bend there toward Barton and then up towards Smithsonian, that's right about where you could really expect to see some really gusty wind. So the winds are going to be picking up from Red Rock up to especially downtown Woodland here in just a few minutes. And then all of that's going to truck right across the heart of the Quad Cities here in just a few minutes. Folks on Highway 72 traveling Barton to Cherokee, you are driving through a wall of water at the moment. But again, nothing is jumping off as being tornadic, just some really gusty wind activity right through the central part of Colbert County this morning, and then back out toward Cherokee. Yeah, it's just not super duper impressive. The National Weather Service does keep on the tag that indicates that there could be some lower level rotation. And so I'm watching very, very closely for that as that moves through the Shoals area. Not to the point that I want to raise any alarm, but that is something that I've got my eye on, and I'm watching very carefully for you. And we'll go ahead and put that up there. Let's see. Heavy rain continues from Mount Hester through Cherokee, now just to the southeast of Lane Springs. Gravely Springs, also moderate heavy rainfall to the east-southeast. Central Heights under the gun right now from that. Jacksonburg to Petersville, not reached it into the Florence city limits yet. It is literally on the line at the moment. We'll switch back to the UNA camera real quick to get an idea of what things are looking like there. And that is, just a big old scary looking cloud rolling in. That is the shelf cloud. And if we zoomed out a little bit, you would probably see the storm structure, which a lot of people look and, will say, oh man, that looks like a wall cloud. It's actually the shelf cloud. And the shelf cloud is the leading edge of the storm. So again, not to raise alarm, it's more scary looking than it is, but there's some embedded lightning, and we are tracking that potential for some decent sized hail as it rolls into the Shoals Metro here in just a few minutes. Plenty of warm air out there. Currently it is 69 degrees at the Northwest Shoals Regional Airport. It is 62 with a dew point, and last wind gust was reported at 16. Here at our facility, we've had wind gusts upwards of about 32 miles an hour at one point. Temperatures dropped down to 63. We were riding heavy at 68 earlier this morning before that kind of dropped back down. All right, we'll go back to Live Viper and watching this as it rolls directly into the area, and we'll put it into motion as well to give you an idea on the overall track of this. So again, the Quad Cities, you are about to get slam hammered with heavy, heavy storm activity. Looking at some of the comments, I have a report from Ashley Phillips about how things are getting really dark in the Florence area. It will, and once it does start, you can expect the storms to be on top of you For the heaviest part's not going to last long, about 20 minutes or so, and then that's going to move east. I do want to shift down and take a look at this line that's moving through northeast Mississippi from Tupelo back up to Tishomingo. Of course, Tishomingo County, Mississippi is one of our counties. Decent little line of storms there from Mingo down to Moore's Mill, including the Tishomingo community down through Dennis, Mississippi. Reason of concern, you do have a much more structured part of the line that extends from Tupelo back up to about Ozark. The National Weather Service in Memphis has a warning on this particular part of the storm, which includes Fulton. And then we're going to eventually see this cross into Franklin County here in a few minutes. That could go either way. It could maintain its strength, and we would see a new warning issued as that crosses into the Huntsville Weather Service office warning area, or we might, see that kind of drop back down a step to a special weather statement, which is a category just below a severe thunderstorm. Looking at just a few things here, the office behind the scenes. I'm running solo this morning, so bear with me as we, that's why I'm not on the weather wall at the moment. It's, let's look at our hail. And still indicating some really good hail sizes in this thing. I had a ground truth report of a pea-sized hail it's probably been about an hour ago from West Central Wayne County. Miss Jewel reached out and said, "Hey, I've got hail in West Wayne County." And she reported there being about pea-sized hail. And so I think we're seeing probably just about double that, close to maybe about quarter-sized in some parts of this storm as it nears the downtown Florence and downtown Muscle Shoals area, also Sheffield and Tuscumbia in that as well, because this is a line of storms. And Fred is wonderful to say that regardless of where you live in our viewing area, you're going to see part of the line because it does extend the entire distance of the Tennessee Valley Weather viewing area. And so from Murray County up through portions of Lawrence, Giles, it has passed through Wayne County now. It's now passed over Lawrenceburg, working through New Prospect, all the way down through central Lawrence County. There you can see on your screen the St. Joseph community in Green Hill getting hammered with heavy rain and some small hail. That's going to be, actually some of that hail is falling right near the Wahali Sports area just south of the state line, the golf area that's off Highway 43 there in Green Hill. Also that runs all the way down and then takes a curve west of 43 from Bailey Springs back out to Petersville, and then that's where you see it working into downtown Florence at the moment. And then this line, as I showed you a few moments ago, runs all the way plumb back into Mississippi. And so everybody is going to see some form of this line as it works through the area. So varied intensity as it does. And then you're going to see the camera update here in just a second. All right, we actually are going to have this live as the line crosses in. You are watching the live Arctic Air Skycam Network, UNACam. This is on top of the University of North Alabama. And if you're watching in good detail, just at the tree line beyond the ball field, you will see the rain shaft starting to overtake the view. Do have a report of high wind and heavy rain in Petersville this morning. And you can see the top of the shelf cloud right below our logo in the top left-hand corner. And so that's the leading edge as it moves into the Shoals Metro. Back over to radar for just a moment. And keep in mind, radar is looking high up. And so the way the storm is structured, the top of the storm kind of overshoots the top of Florence a little bit. So it's showing that it's already in there. But when you go back to the camera, you can see that it is just now starting to move in. And here comes that heavy rainfall into the Shoals region right now. And that camera is actually very well mounted on the side of a pole. So when it starts shaking, this is an upgrade of the camera that we had. So if it's moving around a little bit, then that's a really good indication that we have some really potent wind that's rolling through Florence right now. Report from our good friend Stuart in downtown Leeton. Good windy conditions at the moment will keep us advised. Lori Davenport Smith reports at 7 points, pouring rainfall at the moment. And I bet you $1 it is. Oh yeah, you can easily see how quickly conditions deteriorate as that rolls into downtown Florence. Again, looking live at the Arctic Air Skycam network. We'll switch over real quick to the harbor camera. And this is going to be located at the Florence Harbor Marina, and that will take just a moment for the video to catch up. And there it goes. So you can see the backside of the shelf cloud, the leading edge now, and as that heavy rain starts to roll into McFarland Park and the Harbor Marina area of Florence. They're right by the O'Neill Bridge. The National Weather Service in Huntsville is now issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning for Colbert, Limestone, and Lauderdale County. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning that will expire at 9 a.m. Again, the National Weather Service in Huntsville issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning for the core of our viewing area there through the real tip top of Colbert County, just to the east of Florence. That's going to include Ford City, there up to Wilson Lake. And then that warning does extend all the way through East Lauderdale. That's going to pick up Anderson, Rogersville, just south of Lexington. The polygon doesn't go as far as Lexington, and then down through Elgin, Center Star, and then also Killen. And then that does just barely tip over and grab the far eastern edge of Limestone County this morning. Again, this is all because of this line of storms that is working its way through the area today. We'll go back and put another storm track on this band of storm activity as it rolls through the area. This is pushing through at about 49 to 50 miles an hour, so we'll take it up to about 50. And folks who are watching us this morning in the 5 Points area on top of you now. Bonnertown and Lawrence County at 8:30. Pleasant Grove at 8:30. Center Star, Alabama, the line of storms on top of you at 8:30 this morning. Aqua Vista, New Bethel at 8:31. Ford City at 8:32. Downtown Grassy, Alabama, on top of you at 8:32. Nitrate City coming up at 8:33. Powell at 8:35. Elgin at 8:36, Colbert Heights at 8:36 as that sweep line comes around and we get some new data from the NEXRAD in Columbus, Mississippi. And again, nothing tornadic in this, nothing jumping off the screen is being tornadic this morning, just a good indication of some gusty wind as this line is bearing down on northwest Alabama. We will do a quick look. I don't really suspect this is going to be super impressive because of how fast it's moving, but I will take a peek at the rainfall total just for kicks and giggles, and it's dropping about half an inch of rain as the line moves across, which is decent in the time that it is. So again, you're going to pick up about a tenth to a half inch of rain as it moves across. This is dual pole radar totals over the past hour. This is, of course, you can see from Loretto down to the state line and then over toward Wayne County, we've picked up about half an inch, and then half inch in Florence and back out toward Central Heights, half an inch. Cherokee, about the same, and so almost uniform with the heavy rain. You've got the warning area where the winds get a little bit higher and do tend to kick up a little bit more so as opposed to the rest of the line. And that's because you do have a little bit more juice here, producing some gustier winds. Diane reports high wind and rain on Highway 72 in Tuscumbia. All right, let's switch over. We're going to see if we can do something. We never have done this before. Well, actually, I don't have it. Okay, so never mind. Thought we did, but don't. That's all right. We'll check out, oops, wrong one. Here is downtown Lexington. We'll get a view as to what's going on as the line of storms approaches Lexington. Really dark and ominous looking clouds, but again, not tornadic. That is just the sun hitting the moisture and the rain in the clouds, and the light is being kind of twisted and turned and looks darker and meaner than it really is. Don't get me wrong, it is going to be a almost severe thunderstorm in Lexington. The polygon does extend up to the south side of the city limits, just south of where our camera's at. So technically it's not in the warning polygon, but close enough that folks in Lexington, down through Rogersville, Center Star, all of those communities, if you are watching this weather update, I would not be outside just because you do have lightning, and I do want you to exercise, good caution in dealing with these storms. Put this into motion real quick, and I also don't want to beat a dead horse with this, because this is it's a line of rocky little thunderstorms. This was well advertised from the weather team here over the past few days that we could be looking at some of this. And looking at a couple things off screen real quick. I would just hang out inside for a little bit. This, once it starts at your house, it's going to be on you for, again, about 20, maybe 30 minutes, and then it's just going to push itself on through the area like it wasn't even there. But behind this line of storms will be much, much cooler air that will make it feel so much different than it had this morning. When we started out, folks were almost 70 degrees. We were well in the upper 60s across the region. I did not see a 70, but we were plumb close to it. But now that's really starting to change. Most of the region will start to see the 40s. You heard right, the 40s by around noon today. And then from there, some of you would not put it past, you could see the 20s in outlying areas early tomorrow morning. A good little bend in that storm right to the east of Loretto. I want to zoom in and kind of take a peek of that real quick. Again, I'm not necessarily worried about it, just want to kind of look and see how that's looking right here in southeast Lawrence, over 5 points. We'll switch to our live Doppler radar. It is attenuating because we have that heavy rain on top of us, so that beam, because of the kind of radar it is not necessarily capable of producing enough oomph to get down into the that part of the storm. But this is looking at the Huntsville NEXRAD, and we'll take a peek real quick. Just some gusty wind there through 5 points and back out toward the south there. Here's a live look at the velocity from Florence up through Lexington, and this is where the severe thunderstorm warning is. Folks in the Muscle Shoals area, downtown Muscle Shoals out toward Leeton, Nitrate City, and Bethel, you are definitely going to have some gusty wind as this approaches you here in just a few minutes. We'll go back over to the Columbus NEXRAD to get a little bit better view of how this is looking. And so if you were watching in the heart of the Quad Cities and then out toward Layton here in just a few on 72A, folks in Town Creek, up to the bend there in northern Lawrence County, Alabama, You are going to see some rocky storms. They may drop another warning or two on this. Huntsville does indicate that you'd have confirmed inch hail size. Storms moving roughly at 55 miles per hour now to the east. So we'll zoom out and we'll do one more big track. All right. Wheeler Dam Village and Eastman coming up at 8:37. By the way, current time is 8:34. Old Burleson and Fairview at 8:38. The same for Frank Ewing and Rogersville. Red Bank at 8:39. White Oak, Prospect, and Belgreen all at 8:39. I am watching this little segment of the line back out in northeast Mississippi of what's going to be rolling into Franklin County, this part back toward Fairview, Mississippi, and Fulton. That's a little bit meaner looking on radar at the moment. Again, not tornadic, but nevertheless, yeah, we want to keep an eye on that to see how that wants to behave over the next few minutes. Again, that little bend is going to be a good indicator of some more stronger wind as that moves into folks living just south of Red Bay here over the course of the next 10-15 minutes. And then that's going to work its way through the entire distance north to south of Franklin County, just as what we've seen so far as this line pushes its way in from the west. All right, so that's where we stand now at about 8:36. If we do get another warning or two, I'll hop right back on. Don't necessarily like to do wall-to-wall severe weather coverage for severe thunderstorm warnings, more along the lines of an extended update, just to let you know, because regardless of where you live in this line, it's going to be pretty much the same, a little bit rockier over East Lauderdale and Northeast Colbert just because of the wind and the hail. Everyone's going to pick up a period of moderate to heavy rainfall, almost uniform, of picking up almost half inch of rain, looking at some of the radar estimates over the past hour or so. And so that's going to be pretty much what carries you through. And once it does get to you, last about 20 to 30 minutes before it subsides as it pushes on to the east. Behind that line is going to be much cooler air and some gusty wind shifting pretty quick to be from the west northwest. That'll carry you through the rest of the day. I am going to be right here in the Weather Center watching things for you. If we do tend to get more warnings and something looks a little bit more ominous, which I don't think it will, I do expect, probably would not be surprised if Huntsville issues another severe thunderstorm warning or two for North Lawrence and Limestone as that line gets a little bit closer to Moulton, Decatur, and Athens here in the next little bit. But we will keep an eye on for you, and we'll hop right back on here if we need to. Well, it's kind of just me in here right now. So typically there's 2 or 3 of us. Nobody else made it in yet this morning. But so for me, Ben Luna, in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. As always, we'll keep you advised.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, stand by for a live update.